Hello friends, and welcome on in. For the last several days we've been here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, following the famed coach Steve Calhoun through one of his patented armed and dangerous football camps. We've seen youngsters from all across the region learn skills you wouldn't believe are even necessary for the game of football. It's a detailed-oriented, in-depth look at the game like nobody else can possibly give. Coach Calhoun does excellent work. He's been doing it all over the country. He's trained some of the absolute greats. He's the personal quarterbacks coach for Russell Wilson. He's worked with Cordero Patterson, that plays wide receiver and kick returner in the NFL. He's worked with a lot of big name players, and now he's working with some of the youths right here in our neck of the woods. And you're going to get an inside look at it today. We appreciate you joining us. Sit back and relax and enjoy as we bring you inside an armed and dangerous football camp.
This is the Armed and Dangerous Football Skills Camp. We're based out of Orange County, California, and we train quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, and tight ends for the youth ages 4th through 7th grade, and for high school 8th through 12th grade.
I'm Alec Rasmussen. I go to FRA, and I'm a quarterback.
I'm Lee Willett, and I go to Willett Middle School, and I'm a tight end.
Sean Lake, and I'm a quarterback, and I play for MJCA.
Antonio Wright, I go to school at John Kenyon Middle School, and I play quarterback at safety.
Tomas J. Smith, wingback in MJCA.
My name is Corey Hardy, and I'm a running back, and I go to Coast Ferry Elementary.
My name is Carter Branham. I'm a wide receiver, and I go to Mount Juliet Christian Academy.
My name is Joe King. I go to Ezel Harding, and I'm a quarterback.
I'm Christian Keith Link. I go to MJCA, and I play quarterback.
I'm Miles Baller. I go to Sunset Middle School, and I'm a wide receiver.
I'm Jackson York. I'm a wide receiver for Mount Juliet Christian Academy.
My name is Blake Crane. I'm trying out for wide receiver, and I go to Christian Middle.
My name is Eli Burgess. I'm a running back for Mount Juliet Christian Academy.
PJ McDonald. I play quarterback. I go to Clay Chopper Middle School.
Name's Matthew Cook from MJCA, play wide receiver and corner.
My name is Kimar McKissick. I go to John Early Middle School, and I'm a wide receiver.
Hello, my name is Michael Pitek. I am a wide receiver, and I go to MJCA.
Joshua Spose, quarterback, and Middle School.
My name is Tyler Barnes. I play running back. I go to Mount Juliet Christian Academy.
My name is Kobe Lewis. I play wide receiver, and I go to Indiana Middle School.
My name is DeMonte. I go to John Early Middle School. Play tight end, wide receiver, outside linebacker.
Ben Freejohn, quarterback, NBA. Darius Holly, Mount Juliet Christian Academy, I play running back.
Jamarius Parker, Pearl High School, slide wide receiver.
My name is Preston Sloan. I go to MJCA, Mount Juliet Christian Academy, and I play wide receiver.
Darius Hunter Jr., Pearl High School, wide receiver.
My name is Trent Graves. I play wide receiver, and I go to Mount Juliet Christian.
Jimmy Farrell, Pearl High School, quarterback.
I'm Hunter Stonebreaker. I play wide receiver, and I go to Mount Juliet Christian Academy.
Bo Garner, quarterback, Derrick County High School.
My name is Jacob Hall. I go to Mount Juliet Christian Academy, and I play running back.
My name is Marcin Hernandez. I play quarterback, and I go to Derrick Marshall.
Marcus Irons Jr. I go to Gainesville High School. I play quarterback.
Michael Stahl, wide receiver, MJCA.
My name is Brandon Smith. I go to Pearl. I play tight end, H-back, and linebacker.
I'm Bailey Biddle. I'm a wide receiver, and I go to MJCA, Mount Juliet Christian Academy.
John Williams, Washington High School, DB.
I'm Logan Collier. I go to MJCA. I play wide receiver.
My name is Joshua Thomas. I attend White Creek High School, corner, quarterback, and wide receiver.
Tristan Monse, quarterback, Trinity.
I'm Kenneth Brown. I attend White Creek High School. I play running back, slide, cornerback, and safety.
My name is Kendall Williams. I play wide receiver, and I go to White Creek High School.
I'm Kenyon Vern. I attend White Creek High School, and I play cornerback.
My name is Garrett Bay. I play quarterback, and I go to Franklin Road Academy.
My name is Xavier Shepard. I go to Pearl High School, and I play quarterback.
My name is Albert Bennett. I go to John Early, and I'm a running back.
At Armed and Dangerous, we always like to teach the basic fundamentals of the game. We feel that if you have a great fundamental base, it's able to translate to any level of football that you ever could play on, from youth to high school, and then from college to the NFL. I'm Coach Calhoun. Coach Barrett, raise your hand. Coach Medina, raise your hand. Coach Brunetti, raise your hand. Quarterbacks, running back specific, Coach Campbell, okay? Receivers, Coach Koto, Coach Robbins. I've been running my company, Armed and Dangerous Football, for the last 10 years, and I've been fortunate to been able to train Russell Wilson and Cam Newton and Nick Foles and Mike Glennon, and on the receiver side we have Keenan Allen and Kenny Stills and Robert Woods, and so through that process of working with them through high school and through college, and then getting them ready for the NFL draft.
Coach Glenn Campbell, kind enough to join us here on the broadcast. Coach Campbell, you're the running back specialist with this group. How did you get put in that position? How did you become kind of the guy to coach the running backs?
Well, I was fortunate in my career to play against Coach Calhoun in high school. And I played running back, so I played at UNLV, had a stint in Seattle. So passionate about the ball, I became a running back. And Steve asked me, hey, Coach, can you come out and I like what you believe in. I know you're a stickler. You're just as much as a proactive coach as I am. I think you work well with our group. So that's how I became one of the running back coaches.
There's a lot of different athletic abilities here. Some are better than the others, and it's the bottom line. But you're out here to do what? Get better, right? Get better. So all I'm saying is to you, some of the things I may say to you, you may already know, right? But some things I may say to you, you don't know, right? So understand what I'm saying, and let's put it into play. I do not want to see me tell him something or him something, and then you get up there and do what? The same thing. That means that you're what? Period. All right, let's work now. Let's work. I'm a stickler.
Coach Campbell, you're a high school head coach out in California. How does what you do with this group differ from what you do in that role?
Well, we don't have as much time in our high school as we do with these guys. We're spending 3 hours of continuous time, and we have 8 coaches that are very, very good at what they do. So, the time is, it's a good time. We love what we do.
So go! What is he doing wrong? Thank you! And the arms. If you don't transition, you're not going to get pushed. Let's go.
When it comes to running back specifically, what are some of those fundamental things that just aren't being taught anymore?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is, if you take a quarterback, for instance, every time a quarterback, before he hikes the ball, he does what is called a pre-snap read. As a running back, you need to do the same exact thing. You need to see what the defense is in. You need to understand what my linemen are doing based on the play. Whether it's running, whether it's blocking. I think that's a big attribute. Also, learn how to block and pass. Pass block. Run block. First steps, second steps. Your trail leg, your body movement, your eyes. If you look in the NFL and you look at a running back from the screen, you'll see his eyes not just focused on one side, but he's panning the globe back and side for one reason. You don't want to give a tip to the other guys on the other side of the ball.
In order for me not to false step, what do you think I have to do first? What controls my legs? So what do I got to do first? So who's right-handed? Okay? So that means you're going to take a step with what? No, you're not. With your right leg. What's going to move? What's going to control that thing? My left arm. Left arm. So I have to throw that arm first. If I'm late, then I'm going to go into the pause. Does that make sense, guys?
This camp is for anyone that wants to learn the raw fundamentals and the nuances of being a perfectionist at their position. As you see, there's no DBs out here. There's no linebackers out here. There's no defensive line. This is an offensive receiver, running back, quarterback camp. And that's what you're getting from these coaches. The second part of it, I would say, to someone who's passionate, to someone who wants to learn the game, to someone who wants to get that competitive edge, that's who it's for. It's for anyone. It's for anyone, not just the top line players.
Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've always told when I start football, my feet should always be pointing where? And they should be what? shoulders width apart. Shoulders width. And I should be like on my heels, right? I should be on my heels? Okay, where should I be? Okay, you shouldn't be flat. Where do you want to move? You want to be on your toes. You don't want the Michael Jackson stuff. You just want to be right on the balls.
We kind of say ourselves as a enhancement group. You know, you have the raw materials, but we are here to enhance your ability.
It's well said, Coach. An enhancement group. These youngsters have been getting enhanced throughout the course of this weekend. One thing I thought was really interesting, you guys don't only coach the high school group, you guys also coach the middle school, the younger kids. How does what you do with some of those youngsters differ from what you're doing with some of the older guys? How much do you try and give these kids at an early age?
Well, you want to make sure that the raw fundamentals are there first. You have guys that have natural talent, but also the guys that have natural talent may not have the raw fundamentals that would make them even more successful as they progress in the age. For the young kids, we try to give them just a certain staple of how do you play football. The little tips, we won't give them the same tip as the senior guys because the senior guys have done it and they've been there before. But on the other side, we try to make it fundamentally sound so when they go to their prospective teams, they're ahead of and shoulders above the guys that aren't out here doing anything.
Let's go to B. A, B. Here we go. Don't stop there. Full speed, stop here. Let's go. Good. Where are you standing? Boom. Let's go. Good, good, good. Where are your highs? Right? Here you go. Let's go. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
You guys have been a part of getting a lot of guys to the next level. And you mentioned Coach Campbell about raw ability and how far that can get you. If you just have the raw ability, just the God-given talent, how far do you get versus how much you can do with that talent, plus also having some of the training you guys have provided?
You can get pretty far when you have a talented gentleman with, I call, a little seasoning. You put a little seasoning in, and again, it's not about hampering ability, it's about enhancing ability. And for a kid that has raw talent, that hasn't had the fundamentals, the raw fundamentals that we take for granted when you're a senior in high school, or even when you're at the collegiate level.
You should be able to feel the difference of what's wrong and what's right now. And here's the deal. Most best players, most good players are gonna stop themselves when they what? When they don't feel that it's right. If I get my first one wrong, I'm gonna try to get it right at the second one. But if I get to the fourth one, and I'm still doing the same thing, chances are you should do what? Time out.
We appreciate the folks with Steve Calhoun's company allowing us this behind-the-scenes access, and we're going to continue that now as we introduce you to one of their wide receivers coaches, Coach Josh Robbins, kind enough to join us. And Coach, we appreciate you giving us a minute or two here. What is your background with Coach Calhoun? How did you become a part of this armed and dangerous revolution?
Coach Calhoun, I actually was coaching at a local high school, and I ended up coaching some of the receivers that he had coached previously, throughout his armed and dangerous stuff, and I got recommended to him, and we actually sat down and watched some film, and next thing you know, he was like, hey, you're coaching with me. So
I want to hear more about that film session. You were coaching some of his receivers, some of the guys
that he was training.
So where do you guys overlap? Where do your philosophies meet?
We pay very close attention to detail. So when we sat down, I watched this film of him working out a wide receiver. He was like, coach him like you're me. And so I found the smallest little details, in everything that he could do, and I picked him out. It starts from the stance, the start, the release. These guys not false stepping, not wasting any motion at all. Whether it's at the top of their route or even in their stance, we don't want them to waste any motion. We want them to be as efficient as possible in everything. The way they line up, the way they get off, the way they catch the ball, the way they get out of the routes. We're watching all of those things and seeing how we can speed up the process, how we can make it cleaner, tighter, and like I said, more efficient.
Let's talk about some of the great ones that you've coached. You guys have had a great opportunity. You've coached a lot of great athletes around the country. Armed and Dangerous has got a lot of guys playing Division I college football, got a lot of guys in the NFL. Who are some of the guys that stand out to you?
I really like the way Keenan Allen works. He's one of the guys we've seen him work out a bunch of times, and he's just relentlessly hungry to get better. He never feels like he's there yet. And that's something you got to have, you know, to be great. You got to have that relentless effort to get better. And every drill that he does, every rep that he takes, he's really grinding to make it the best possible rep he can make it. I believe that, you know, with every single rep, every single thing you do, you're either going to get better or worse, you're not going to stay the same. So to push yourself to make that rep your best rep, that's something that he does, and you know that's what makes him, you know, great. Each kid has their own way of, you know, how they're going to respond to you. So it's, as a coach, man, paying attention to those kids, all the kids, individually, and getting the most out of them. At the high school level, I feel like coaches coach the team. They're not taking the time to coach details, man. And a lot of the high school coaches and even some of the junior college coaches, they don't have the time to really go over all the details. And that's one thing I do, I take pride in, is I always focus on the little things. And that's, you know, you can't be great unless you have a good base of fundamentals.
It's gonna be the same thing, we're just ripping through. I'm gonna drop that shoulder so all he can push is my back.
We are pleased now to be joined by one of the wide receiver specialists with Armed and Dangerous, Coach Kojo Aaron, kind enough to join us. And Coach, I appreciate you coming on, giving us a few moments. You spent a lot of time here already, and you're hanging out a little late with us tonight, so I appreciate you. Appreciate you doing so. But I want to ask you about your background first and foremost, and your qualifications when it comes to mentoring these youngsters.
My name is Kojo. I was actually one of Steve's first kids. I was playing junior college football at Santa Ana College, and Steve was playing football at the time, and he saw me. I was a real fast kid. I was a running back, couldn't catch a cold, and basically I worked my way up, and he taught me a lot of things, and every time he come back, I just kept working. I ended up getting a football scholarship to Northern Arizona University, and played football, and continued to play afterwards, played a little arena ball and things like that, and you know, had fun with that. But it was time to give back after I was done playing, and I used that time to really start mentoring kids, and then you know, I working with kids, you know, just as a receiver coach, mechanics coach, and worked with a lot of the NFL guys as well with Steve during the off-season combine trainings.
So you have to know where the first down is first, and then you can figure out how you're going to score. Don't look downfield. Secure that ball first. Here we go. Set, go. There you go. I like that. Good job. Set, go.
Let's talk about what Coach Calhoun's program has done for you. How do you go from a running back who, as you said, couldn't catch a cold to a guy that's starring in the Arena League? How much did Coach Calhoun play a role in making that happen?
He played a large role. You know, when I was playing, you know, I went through my ups and downs. You know, learning how to catch the ball and things like that. And you know, I went through the semi-pro route and after college, and tried to do that and work my way up. And then I got a shot to go play. And so he was there every step of the way, as far as like, you know, just working with me. And you know, as I was going through my trials and tribulations as a player, I just kept working. You know, he kept having workouts, and I kept being there. And then eventually, you know, things kind of worked out, and I went and played arena ball for a little bit, and came back, and that was it. So, you know, I had an opportunity, and I took advantage of it, and I took my talents to what I could. And then when I was done with that stint, I came home, and it was coaching.
Take your right leg. You're gonna step over, 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 over. You're gonna go 10 yards, okay? You're just gonna go straight through. So, take a step, drive the knee, over, over.
A lot of guys can play, and they get to a certain level of the game, and that's pretty much where they stay. But the guys that can continue to work and refine their skills as the game changes, as we've seen over the years, the game has changed a lot. They're able to step to the challenge and continue to push through those changes and match their skills to the on-field performances. So we preach fundamentals. We teach you know, everything from stance and start all the way to releases, all the way to deep ball catching and extending to the ball, and body control, and all the little stuff in between there. What we want to do is get these guys fundamentally sound, so it's no longer kind of, they're not thinking about it anymore. They're just doing. And that's the main thing, is to make sure that they're doing instead of thinking.
If you fall, you are doing the right thing. You should feel really off balance doing this. That is fine. We have to correct it. There's some things we need to correct, but you're going in the right direction, okay? Do not be afraid to fail here, guys. Do it. That's why it's called practice.
We've got a special guest for you now. I'm joined now by former NFL quarterback Josh Booty coming out and helping out with the camp a little bit. Josh, you gave some real great words of encouragement to the kids earlier this afternoon and wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. You talked about some of the skills that can be learned from Coach Calhoun. Talk about your background with him. How long have you been working with Coach Calhoun, and what are some of the things you picked up working with Mr. Armed and Dangerous?
Well, Steve is a wonderful person, and he cares a lot about the kids, and I think that's, him being out here in Nashville all the way from California, that says a lot. But, he's trained a lot of NFL guys. He's worked with a lot of guys who've made a lot of money playing this game, and I live close by, and we're about a couple minutes apart back in Newport Beach area, and that's where a lot of the sports agents are, and a lot of the big agents use him to train their clients. So there's a lot of guys that are coming into the draft every year, and several of them always come to Steve Calhoun because he's built a reputation in the football world that he knows how to handle quarterbacks, he knows how to teach quarterbacks, and he just does a really good job with the details of being a good quarterback or really handling the quarterback position properly.
Right-handed quarterbacks, ball's up, right in front of your right front shoulder, call it the shelf. Left-handed quarterbacks, right in front of your left pec, okay, on the shelf. Right-handed quarterbacks, call your left shoulder camera 1, belly button's camera 2, right shoulder's camera 3, okay? Left-handed quarterbacks, right is 1, belly button's 2, left is 3. Every time you throw a ball out here tonight, okay, take a picture of your target with all 3 of your cameras, okay? What that's gonna force you to do is rotate your shoulders, okay? So at the end of this workout, shouldn't be your arm that's fatigued, should be your hip flexors from pushing and your abs from rotating.
A lot of the kids, these guys out here, they want to come out and they want to show that they've got a great arm, and it's not necessarily how big of an arm you have. We've learned that over time. We've watched guys like Jamarcus Russell not succeed at the NFL level because his head's not there, or he's not, maybe he was lazy, or maybe his footwork wasn't there, or his mechanics were there. You've got to have the total package. You've got to be a leader. You've got in the locker room. You got to be a guy that people can trust, that people want to play with and play for. And then you've got to have good footwork, and you've got to know your mechanics. You got to know your body well, and you've got to be able to complete balls, and you got to be accurate. And then if you have the arm strength on top of all that, then you're going to be one heck of a quarterback.
I'm gonna have you guys do what I call walking into your throw. I saw all you guys doing it, okay? When we're warming up, you guys are doing like this here. And that's exactly what I want you to do now. So what I want you to think about, don't focus on it, but be conscious of how I want right-handed quarterbacks. I want your left foot to hit the ground first before your hand split. That allows the energy to come from your base, through your core, out through your hand. Left-handed guys, we're here. Turn the left foot, hit the trigger, block the punch. Okay, good, here we go, let's learn by doing.
You're only as good as the people around you, so you want to put yourself in a good situation. You want to get coached up. You want to have good receivers and a good running game. We saw what Peyton Manning did when he's a Tennessee guy, and what he was able to do with a great defense that Denver had and a pretty decent run game. He kept them in every game, even though he wasn't vintage Peyton Manning through the playoffs and through the second half of the season. He was able to lead them to a Super Bowl victory. So it's not always about the stats and the yards and the gaudy numbers. It's about leadership and knowing how to win and create an opportunity for your team and knowing situations. That's what I told the kids is, you can come out here and work till your feet are blistered, but you got to understand the game of football. And I think the smartest guys are the guys that win, and that's Brady and Manning, and the guys that can do it at that level every year. They could take a middle school team and make them a really good team at any level. That's how good they are.
I know you learned a lot about preparing, being an NFL quarterback for 3 years, doing it at the highest level. What goes into that? What are some of those behind-the-scenes things? What does a full week of prep look like for a guy that's doing that day-to-day?
I always tell people it's like you're studying for a midterm, because every week is something different. You might play the Ravens in a 3-4 defense, and then you might go play the Browns and it's a 4-3 defense. Everything's every team is different. Every defensive coordinator is different. A lot of guys dial up a lot of blitzes. Even at the college level, Saban, he brings a lot at you every week. Some teams will sit back and let you come to them a little bit more. And so, I say in the NFL, it's every week is like studying for a midterm test. It really is like that. And you've got to be able to, learn in the film room, regurgitate everything that's coming in every week, and then be able to get on the field and actually practice what you learn in the classroom and be able to put it into play on the field. And I think that's why, again, Manning and Brady and those guys are the smart guys that have, have good skills as well, are the best, because they're able to control the game with their mind. And that's the biggest part of being a quarterback, is being able to control the game. It's your game. You're the quarterback. You're taking the snaps. If you can control the game and know what to do with every little piece of what's going on during the ball game, and that's how you become really good. Just teaching these kids how important it is to learn how to do it right at an early age, and that kind of sets the tone for the rest of your playing career if you can learn the fundamentals at an early age.
Take advantage of the guys that are here, because this doesn't happen all the time. You ain't got a guy that coaches NFL players on your field to try to make you better. So just take full advantage of it. And like I said, pay attention to details, and then that'll carry over into the game, which is is really the important part, right? You want to be prepared when you hit the field on Friday night or Saturdays, whenever you play your games, maybe one day Sunday, that you're super prepared. And it's times like this where you can better yourself every day. So what you guys got to do is you got to concentrate on what they told you today and come out here tomorrow and work on it. We used to go, and I know Steve's just like this, even the carrying out your fakes, and I used to go and get in front of a mirror and do my drops, because I wanted it to look the same every time I took a drop, whether it was 5, 7, 3. I wanted it to be consistent, so it was solid, and I looked the same every time. And that's a big part of the football game big part of football is being able to handle every situation and looking the part, and then playing your butt off, because it's a tough game. You're going to get hit in the mouth. You're going to go up for a grab if you're a receiver, and you're going to get hit in the rib. But you got to just be prepared to come back the next play and give it your best and continue to go through the grind. Football's like life. It's a grind, and you guys will be better for working with this guy, I promise you.
Appreciate you, Josh. Hey, let's give him a clap.
That's going to do it for our inside, behind-the-scenes look at Coach Steve Calhoun's Armed and Dangerous football camps. One of the best one-on-one football fundamental trainers in the country has come right here to our part of the country. He has trained some of your local favorites, some of your local athletes, both at the high school and middle school level, and we've had a lot of fun showing you just how he's done that. You've gone behind the scenes, you've seen how it's all done, you've seen how greatness is made throughout our show here today, and we appreciate you joining us. Until next time, I'm Justin Swallow saying so long, folks.
The look you see in those kids' eyes when they're able to achieve something that they've been working hard on for the last 2 or 3 hours, and maybe in that last hour or the last 30 minutes, they're able to accomplish the movement or whatever we've been trying to coach. And so when you see that look, that sparkle, that smile, that really drives me to come back every day and do a great job with them.